Hello, my name is Alex Ricard with Bloodline Sports. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Here with a couple of the partners with Bloodline. We got Nick Siaka. Nick, how you
Alex,
doing?
good buddy. How you doing?
Good. We got TJ Wilcoxon.
What's up,
TJ,
guys?
What's
good
going
to
on,
see
TJ?
y'all. So welcome. Thanks for joining us for our player spotlight. We're going to go over two student athletes out of Arizona. One is a golfer, Randy Weiss, and one is a baseball player, Mason Hamon. I'll go ahead and throw up the profile, and TJ can tell us a little bit about them. TJ, who we starting with here?
We'll go with Randy.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I met Randy as a freshman. He was playing baseball at the time, but he's been a golfer his whole life, and he decided to really focus on golf. He does play soccer as well, which is just another. I think it's a great idea when these kids play some other sports just to get some different muscles involved. But really hard worker. I mean, a good example of he started his own landscape lawn service when he was like 14 years old and was mowing lawns and earning his own money so he could buy golf clubs and play in tournaments. And his father's a good friend of mine. His father is an extreme athlete, does 100 and 200 mile dirt bike races, and he's been in the cycling world for a while. Randy was also at an early age. Had the pleasure of playing golf. I have a little bit of a golf background myself, and I've caddied for him and played with him. And the kid is, this picture is a little bit older, but he's about 5'10", maybe 155. Hits the ball 300 yards down the fairway on a regular basis. Great swing, can chip and putt. Plays a lot of big major junior tournaments. And he's had a lot of success lately. He's definitely going to be a Division I golfer. He's got 2 more years of high school. And of course, the junior golf scene outside of high school is a big part of getting to that next level. Randy's demeanor really helps him play an individual sport. With golf, he's a little bit keeps to himself. Pretty, smart kid, cerebral, doesn't get too high, doesn't get too down. But just he's always working. I get text messages with pictures, on a 3 or 4 night a week basis of him at the range, him working on putting. And so he's a grinder. He understands hard work pays off, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. And just a great kid, great family. And I've been very proud to watch his development, and I think he's got a good chance to go a long way in the golf game. So yeah, that's about it. But
So TJ, when we talked about Randy, when we were prepping for this a little bit, we're talking about, he's smart, he's a thinker, all that. I assume he does pretty well in the classroom.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think, not sure if his mom's an educator. I know the father's in the medical world, but yeah, he's structured. It's
Yeah.
a little bit different than the way I'm wired. He comes home, he does his homework, and he goes and mows lawns, and then he comes back and does workouts. He's got a little net in his garage where he hits golf balls if he can't get to the range, and he works at a country club now to get some free golf and some free time on the range. So yeah, like I said, he's got a bright future, and very proud to watch him develop.
One thing I enjoy is it seems every day he's putting in the work.
Every day.
Always working on his craft, and talking with him and his dad. I mean, he's a fine young man, very respectful. If you don't mind, I'm going to let you know what tournaments he has coming up.
Sure.
over the next month. So on June 13th, he'll be at TPC Scottsdale and then June 15th through the 16th at Camelback for the JGAA. And then on June 20th, McDowell Mountain. June 27th, Stone Creek, and July 11th at Dove Valley.
Wow, nice.
So he's got a busy month ahead of him.
Very good. TJ, I was just going to say the $1 million question. Would you say he's better than I am?
Slightly.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
His 72-hole score would be around what you'd shoot through 7.
We don't need details, but I got it.
Yeah, and you think about the same thing with baseball. It's just, I mean, this is a mecca for golf. It's a huge golf area, and the tournaments they go. I mean, you're talking like literally getting the best of the best. There's kids that are flying in from California, Oklahoma to play in these events, and it's really cool. It's a little bit like the club scene with baseball, where eventually you start to become friends and develop relationships with kids all over the country. And so when you get to the next level, where if he were to go to college, I mean, honestly, I think he's an ASU, Oklahoma State, UCLA type talent.
Nice.
But we all know with an individual sport, there's nobody to help you, right? I mean, you got a caddy. At this level, you don't have a caddy. Certain events you can bring a caddy, but at this level in individual sport, I mean, this is the challenge. The talent's already there. Can you cope with, hitting a bad shot and regrouping? So, and he does it well just because the way he's wired. So again, just a bright future, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next few years.
Awesome.
Great.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to Mason Hamon. EJ, tell us a little about Mason.
Mason is, you can see him right there. He's a freak athlete. He's perplexing to me as a coach. He's got all the talent in the world. He will work. I talked to him months ago about how much did he weigh and what was he squatting, and so he was squatting about 350. Kid squats 500 pounds now. He put on a bunch of weight. He's 6'5", 210. He steps on the mound and everybody looks. Everybody stops what they're doing. Like, who's this kid? He's 17 years old. Tops out about 88, 89, and there's so much more in the tank. Some mechanical stuff that we're working with, but as a pitcher, his arm can overtake a lot of mechanical issues. But so once he gets the mechanical part, really the lower half side, he at this point in his young career, he's a little bit, can be real streaky. He can go out there and no one can touch him. And then the next game, it's a little bit, it's been the mechanics where the delivery isn't the same every time, and he's working on it. He'll get it. Everybody around us in our network, we're convinced he's a D1 kid, smart, 4.0 is 3.96. I'm looking at. His mother is an educator, great family, great kid, really quiet, but a little bit funny when you hear him with other kids, and people look up to him. Of course, he's just this big Zeus-looking dude that goes out there, goes about his business, and again, one of those guys that doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. I'd like to see a little bit more fire in him, which I think will come. I think it comes from confidence, which he's gone way up from him being a freshman to now he's going to be a senior. His confidence level is huge. It can get a little better, but the freakish talent, athleticism is why we're talking to some big time schools. And, and that's what the big time schools see. They see this body, they see the arm, and, you're not a pitching coach at Michigan State or Stanford or Arizona State for, just because they needed a job, right? I mean, they know what they're doing as a pitching coach. So he gets in the right hands, gets the right development. I mean, I can see him playing on TV for sure.
Well, if so, a few little mechanic tweaks are the major issue. He's got a bright future because you can't teach 6'5". So,
and the arm. I mean, it's a laser beam, and you know, the mechanical issues have held him down a little bit on some of his, secondary pitches. You know, he's got a great curveball, but again, it's about getting that consistent. The delivery doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's consistent.
mm-hmm.
And that's where he struggles sometimes, where he can throw 5 pitches and they all look differently mechanically wise. So, but those are just things that, as for him as a smart kid, an athletic kid, he'll get. So yeah, he's I can't imagine he's not pitching D1 next year. So
Awesome. Thank you, TJ.
yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Yeah. So thank you for joining us. Join us again when we spotlight a couple more athletes. You can visit us on bloodlinesports.co. You can check out those 2 guys. We got other athletes on there. We got some other stuff. Nick can let us know where to find us on social media, and then we'll see you next time.
All right, you can find us on Instagram at Bloodline Sports AZ, on Twitter at Bloodline Sports, on TikTok at Bloodline Sports, and on YouTube at BSN, Bloodline Sports Network.
Great. Thank you, Nick. Good job, TJ. Thank you, guys.
You got
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.